All right, and we are live. Okay, Valentine, you're okay. All right, and we're ready. What's going on, Xavier? It's been a minute. It's been a long minute.
How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing well. School is going great, and I'm just making some pretty good grades in school for the first 1 or 2 weeks of school. And what about you?
That's nice. I wish I could say the same. I wish I could say the same about school. Yesterday, I know yesterday we were supposed to go live. I apologize for everyone on that. That was my fault. That was my bad. Just a lot was going on yesterday. Like, I can't begin to explain. I can't begin to explain it. And that's gonna be a whole topic. That's a whole topic we're gonna go in on later in the episode about what happened yesterday and about just how crazy it is, and it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. All right, but Xavier, would you like to start off on what you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I do. So we're going to start off at the former President Donald Trump's fourth indictment and annotated. So this article was published August 15th, 2023.
Hello, Xavier.
He's most likely going to jail. But first, since he's running for 2024, they're going to see if he's going to win the
Xavier.
2024 election. Because when I learned that if a president
All right. Xavier is having well, as you guys know him, Dr. Passon present. He's having connectivity issues, so we're gonna give him a second here, see if we could fix that for him. While he's fixing that, I'm just gonna read through the comments, and I'll continue the show if he can't get back on here. I'll just continue the show as normal. Hello, guys. It's good to see y'all back on air. It's great. It's great to see you. It's great to see you tuning in. I apologize for yesterday that I couldn't participate on the show or start the show up or anything. It was just a lot going on. It was a lot going on, and I'm gonna get into that. So yesterday was uh, there was an incident right at my school. I'm not going to school not to put the shame on school or anything, not to put shame on school or anything, because it's an incident that can happen at any school and has happened at any school and has happened at some school. So this incident took place yesterday at 11:48. I remember the time vividly because it was so crazy to me. Where where our school has a very strict no cell phones rule. So with that rule, with that rule, the student still decided to pull out her phone because she wasn't able to see the notes on the board properly. I understand there were other things that she could have done. She could have moved up. She could have moved up to the front of the class to see the board better. She could have done other things to prevent getting in trouble with that teacher. But what happens next is what the teacher did about it. So it's really crazy to me. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. I'm still trying to process what's going on. What happened that day yesterday? So they're going back and forth. The teacher is telling the student to put her phone away. The student's explaining that she can't see the board, so she wants to take pictures of the notes so that she can write it down. And the teacher is thinking that the student's lying. They're both yelling back and forth at each other, which is outrageous to me, because how are you, a teacher, gonna yell back and forth with a student? You're a grown adult yelling back and forth with a kid. That doesn't sit right with me at all. But I can understand some teachers, like, they're not going to tolerate disrespect from little kids and all of this and that. But at the end of the day, you're doing a teaching job. One of your requirements is to have that calmness in you, and it's to just be calm about situations and escort the student out of class. Instead, what she did is she did take this student out first, and the student did leave the class. But 2 minutes later, the student did end up coming back in the class. She walked back in the class, and the teacher kept telling her to get out. The student decided to take off around the classroom and start running around the classroom. And that's when the teacher started pushing desks out of the way. Other students were getting caught up in this. Like, she was cutting through aisles and all of this other crazy stuff. And what happened next is the teacher ends up cornering the student, grabbing the student by her hoodie and dragging her out of the class. Which is that was wild to me. There was a lot going through my head at that time yesterday. And once the student ended up getting dragged out the class, the teacher only had a grip on her backpack left. So the student just slipped out her backpack and started running around the class again until the dean had to come and escort her out of the classroom. And that was how my day went yesterday. That's not all of it. There was a lot more that happened yesterday, but it just wouldn't be appropriate for the podcast. So that's that. Xavier, do you have any questions about that incident or anything that you were wondering?
I'm just wondering why, if she couldn't see, was there any desk that was open for her to move up, or was it just where her vision was kind of messed up, so she kind of see a little closer than farther back?
She could have moved forward. She definitely could have. She definitely could have moved forward to go and see the board better, but she didn't. I feel like they're both in the wrong here, because the student could have just moved up and prevented this whole situation, and the teacher had no right to put her hands on the student at all. And now there's this
yeah, I agree on you with that one.
I don't know what else is gonna happen about this situation. I don't know how else they're gonna I don't know how they're gonna handle this situation, how they're gonna take care of this situation. I heard today that the teacher wasn't there personally. I heard that she already got fired, and I hear others telling me that it's still an ongoing investigation. So I just felt like I had to put that out there. Like, that was just a crazy incident. That was just a crazy incident for me yesterday on what was going on. But Xavier, yeah. If you don't have any more questions, you're free to go on to your topic about Trump's indictment.
Okay. So I would like to talk to you guys about Donald Trump's indictment. So the article states that former President Donald Trump, fourth indictment annotated. This is published on August 15th, which is today, 2023. Yeah. All right. A grand jury in Georgia has indicted former President Donald Trump and 18 allies on state charges stemming from his efforts to overturn his 2020 election defeat in the Peach State. The 41 count indictment was unsealed Monday and is the fourth criminal case that Trump is facing. The indictment returned by the Fulton County grand jury includes 13 charges against Trump. He now faces a total of 91 charges in 4 criminal cases in 4 different jurisdictions, 2 federal and 2 state cases. An annotated version of the indictment is below. The 98-page document is also available without annotations. So, here's another article. Trump was indicted on 13 charges. So, do you have any questions on that?
I do have 2 main questions. So I heard that this indictment is only giving Trump more popularity. Do you feel like that's true in a way? Like that's giving him a better chance to be voted for in the upcoming election?
Yes, I believe so. So what I heard that if Donald Trump gets elected for 2024 election for being president, they say that all charges will be dropped and he will not be indicted. He will be again president. But if they indict him before then, he won't be elected as 2024 president. He already told his supporters to be there. If anything goes down, be there to support him. So so here's one thing. My theory is if he gets indicted, if he loses the election, his supporters might have another attack on the Capitol. Which I'm not sure if this is going to happen or not. He just told his supporters to stand up and be ready. And I don't know what's next.
Do you feel like if his supporters do start a riot in the Capitol, Trump could be charged with inciting a riot for saying that?
Yes.
What do you think the odds of him winning this upcoming election?
The odds of him upcoming winning the election.
I'm aware that he has lots of supporters around the United States.
The odds of him winning the election is, I don't know what to say, because when he was still president, before they indicted him out of office, he said he was going to try to take United States out of NATO, and which would make United States vulnerable to enemy attacks, which the United States would not get no help from his allies. So if he gets back in, he might take the United States out of NATO. He also might establish some stuff, and you'll probably just have all these white supremacists everywhere, which white supremacy is on the rise because of him. Because now he already don't like African Americans in America right now. He's a bit of a racist to some sort. But like I said, if he gets elected back in office, I don't know. You have any thoughts on that?
I do have thoughts on that. I'm just thinking about how would I word it? What do you think the reasons for Trump wanting the United States to leave NATO would be? Do you see any benefits in us leaving NATO?
No, I don't see any benefits, because since the United States have so many allies in NATO, if Donald Trump tries to get the United States to leave NATO, or he's just trying to sign for the United States to leave NATO, that'll make United States, Georgia and the United States very vulnerable to enemy attacks. So if they leave NATO while he's back in office, this will give a chance to Russia to attack, maybe China to attack us, or heck, maybe North Korea to attack us, our enemies. Because right now, China, North Korea, and Russia, they're working together. All three of those big places are working together to overthrow the United States, which will start World War III. Because I believe World War III is already on the merge of coming if they don't stop the Ukraine war, what's going on with Russia and that. But we can't tell it's another subject, maybe in another episode. But yeah, so I don't see any benefits. All I see is that he's going to try to take the United States out of NATO, and it'll make our countries and this state very vulnerable to enemy fire or attack.
All right. I have heard something about why Trump would want to leave NATO in the past because of his ties with the North Korean leader. Do you think that could be the reason that he wants us to leave NATO?
But hold on, can you say that one more time?
All right. I said in the past during when Trump was president, he did have ties with the North Korean leader. So do you think that was one of the reasons on why he wanted us to leave NATO?
I think so. A lot of people think that he's working for North Korea, and which in my opinion, I think he is. Now, remember all those document files they found at his house, his Florida home? What if he could have just give those to our enemies to know the nuclear launch codes and stuff like that to attack ourselves, and what if? So I think that might be reason why he's trying to make United States more vulnerable for our enemy to attack us. So I had no other comment on anything else.
Another question: If Trump does get reelected and the Ukrainian war is still ongoing, do you think he's gonna have us leave NATO and switch sides to fight with Russia, since North Korea is an ally of them in this battle right now?
Oh God. I have no further answer for that.
All right. It was just something I was thinking about because we do know that Trump does have ties with the North Korean leader. And like very, very close ties, like they're very close together. Whenever you search up Trump and the North Korean leader, you see them always hanging out together in pictures and things like that. So in my opinion, I feel like it would be a very, since we're already so deep on the Ukrainian side, switch sides mid-fight, it would seem unrealistic to me. But I wouldn't put that past Trump. I wouldn't put doing that past Trump due to all the things that he's already done in the past. And it seems like Xavier is having more connection issues. So we're gonna go back to my original topic on what I was talking about. I did get a comment about that earlier, but that was when Xavier joined back and we had already started on about his topic. So I'll go back up and read that comment to keep the conversation flowing. From one of our commenters, we have, how should you think it could be better? All right. How I think the situation could have gone better, the student could have went up to the front, avoided this whole conflict. The teacher should have removed herself from the situation, should have radioed in staff if the student wasn't cooperating, because that's what teachers at the end of the day are trying to do. Every teacher is trained to call if the student giving you a hard time and not giving properly. That's what they're trained to do. So teacher went against her protocol and broke multiple rules by putting her hands on the student in that way. And I just think it could have been handled way better by the teacher showing some self-restraint and the student just showing some self-control. It was really childish. What she did, standing up and running around the class and just overall giving the teacher a hard time, because prior to this there was nothing, not from what I know, that could have made the student want to act that way. It was just the student being childish and the teacher showing no type of self-control. Because at the end of the day, you don't put your hands on a student no matter what. The student didn't hit her at all. She just ran around the classroom and the teacher got fed up. The teacher couldn't keep her emotions in check. And that's an ongoing situation. It's been going on forever since my mom was in school, where students would get their hands put on them by teachers and students fighting teachers. And it's really crazy to me. I saw this video online about how a student was calling this teacher the N-word, and the teacher got fed up and started beating down on the student so bad to where the student had knocked out, and he had a runny nose. He had to get sent to the hospital, and he had a broken nose, broken face, messed up jaw, missing teeth, and the teacher got charged with and the teacher did get charged with assault. How I think this situation can be handled better. I honestly don't think there's another way. I honestly don't think you can handle the situation other than what's getting handled, because at the end of the day, we don't know when these teachers are going to lash out at students. We don't know when these students are going to lash out at teachers. All we can do is help everything go well. And we have another comment here saying, how can we get respect in the school, in the classroom, with teachers and students? Xavier, do you have anything to say about that?
I wasn't here when you said all that because my phone had connection problem. Just keeps on.
No, that's fine. I
was
asking about our
got some connection problem.
I was asking you about our comment that said, how can we get respect in the school and in the classroom where the teachers will respect each other?
How you can respect, just be nice and just do whatever the teacher wants you to do, but don't take it real personally, because some teachers are very disrespectful to other people and regarding to kids, because sometimes you don't know what the other teacher being disrespectful to, and they get an attitude, and you don't know what they're going through, maybe in their childhood or just mentally messed up, and it's making them act like this, trying to make another teacher feel some type of way, how they felt when they were younger. I don't have any other comment on this because I really couldn't hear, because my phone keep on being disconnected from the podcast for some reason. I don't know why.
That's fine. And this, like the subject of school and respect, I'd love to go into my comments that was left. So for how we can gain respect in school is by, that's really touchy, because at the end of the day, we know how some students don't value respect at all. Some teachers have very short tempers. I think we should start by honestly selecting. I'm not going to say selecting. I'm not going to go on that, because at the end of the day, you don't know who could be lying. You don't know how deceptive people can be. Like, you can hire what seems like the coolest teacher on earth. She seems like she'll get her job done and be proper and everything. But walk into her class one day, let's say you're the principal of her class, she's lashing out at her students for no reason. So you don't know how people can be. But to gain respect, I feel like the students should just go in there, get what they gotta do done. This the teachers should greet them on their way in. The students should listen. They shouldn't have their AirPods in. They shouldn't have their phones out. They should just that's how you gain a teacher's respect. Just giving her all your undivided attention. And I know some schools have breaks, and when it's time for a break, do all of that. Maybe try to converse with the teacher. Maybe get a better understanding of how they are, how they act. Especially if you're going to a new school or if it's a new teacher, just give them respect and give them kindness so that you guys can get an understanding of each other and feel each other out. Because a lot of times it's a lot, and be more clear with what you're saying. Be more clear with your words, because sometimes a lot of these incidents happen when there's just a misunderstanding in communication with the student and the teacher. So I feel like just being more clear with your words and making sure that you guys don't get communication mixed up, and make sure you understand each other when you converse. And just overall gaining, I'm not saying you have to be their friend, but converse with them a little bit, get to know them better. And maybe you guys will start to feel each other out, get a better understanding of each other, and gain a little bit of respect there.
I agree with you on that one.
And for our other comment we have, do you feel as a student that the teacher must have a defensive mindset? How do you feel? Because that's rough. Subject, having a defensive mindset as a teacher.
I feel kind of, oh boy, I don't, man, so many questions I cannot even answer or anything. I have no comment on this because I'm studying having problems again right now.
All right. So for this, do you feel as a student that the teacher must have a defensive mindset? In some cases, no. Well, in all cases, you should be able to feel safe in her classroom. She should be able to feel safe and teach without any interruptions or any problems or any possible threats that could come into her class or come to the school in general. But with the state of how the United States is, with all these school shootings and students fighting teachers, like outside of the United States, if you would have told someone from the UK that yeah, my school had a school shooting, they would look at you like you're crazy. They'll be like, "What's a school shooting?" Because it's so unheard of in foreign countries. It's so unheard of in places that aren't the United States. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in places outside the United States, but it's rare outside of the United States. It's very rare. And it's just so crazy how in the United States you talk about school shootings so commonly, but outside they would be talking about school shooting.
Yeah, you're actually all right about that.
So because it could be like, you can continue.
Yeah, you're actually right about it because in different places they might not have school shootings, but they might have some other problems that United States never even heard of at the schools. Like, I don't know, like kids being just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's other things that probably we never heard about. That's all I'm going to say, just different things. So it's not just school shooting that's happening, even though school shooting is really known here in America. But outside of America and these other foreign countries, there's different things besides school shooting. Maybe some other foreign countries may have a school shooting only happen one time, but some far worse than school shootings, like people bombing schools and stuff like that. And that's nothing we haven't heard in United States. So that's probably in a foreign country.
So we're out of time. We're out of time for the show. So just to answer this final question and wrap things up, it's unfortunate, but I do feel teachers should have a defensive mindset just to keep themselves safe, because the students are only getting worse and worse as time progresses. So I feel it is unfortunate, but teachers should have a defensive mindset. And that was me answering the question for the last of our show. Excellent job, great conversation. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you for giving us your 30 minutes of time today. I'm sorry for yesterday because there was just a lot going on. And I'm gonna catch you guys on our next show.